Andrew Bogut is with me, talking about life in Australia, in Victoria specifically. How's the body?
It's okay. It's a 33-year-old NBA bloody with 13 years on the clock. So
You got how long you got left?
I don't know. Taking it year by year right now, the old cliche. But I still got basketball left in me, so that's a good thing. But it's just a matter of how far I want to go on.
What do you want to do post basketball? I'm assuming you probably don't need to work again.
Oh, but you need to do something. You don't want to be. The silliest thing an athlete can do is think you're gonna retire and just drink beers on the beach somewhere for the rest of your life. You just drive yourself crazy. But I'm involved in a lot of different things. I manage my own property portfolio here in Australia, and I have a basketball academy down in Carrum Downs, which I'll probably get fired back up a little bit better. And who knows? Are you going to hang it up soon? I might take
I thought the way you're going, it might be time for that. You'll be around longer than I am, that's for sure. The cricket situation, what was your reaction when you saw what happened? And I've got some feeling that the public reaction, although it's perhaps over the top, towards the cheating was healthy, because here was the public saying, hang on, we don't accept this. What was your reaction?
I agree with that. I agree with the crux of the problem, the cheating. I mean, you don't, especially bringing a foreign object in your pants. I think, look, the history of ball tampering in cricket, I'm not a huge cricket fan, but I know the history of it with every country's been involved in it at some point, and usually it's sticking your nail into it or trying to rub it on the dirt. I think if they did that, it wouldn't have been as crazy, but bringing a piece of sandpaper was nuts. But the problem I had, Neil, was then the tabloid type media with it. That's what I have an issue with. It's like report the crux of the problem, report the sanctions, the suspensions. Don't start camping outside their house. I mean, don't start. That's where I have a real issue, because I think you just don't want to hear about it anymore. I don't want to hear about it anymore. I'm over it. And I tweeted, like, media, you've got 3 or 4 days to get this out there and then tone it down till we get a sanction or a suspension. And I was getting killed by journos were messaging me, Tony Jones, a bunch of guys were having a crack at me, but I stand by it because, it ends up like the James Hurd thing. Then we're like, maybe he's got a mental health problem now because he's been absolutely pulled from pillar to post. It's like, obviously, there's cameras at his house 24 hours a day.
You ever been asked to cheat in NBA?
No way. No, we do a lot of things around sports betting. So back in the day, there used to be issues, especially in college, where bookmakers would approach guys and sling them some cash to shave points, not to lose the game, but to keep the line close. But stay completely away from that. But it goes to say, okay, so we're in a basketball game, we're going for a loose ball, and I know it was off me, but I'm going to point my way in basketball. Is that cheating?
Yep.
There you go.
No, well, I don't know. It's like in the AFL, holding the guy's jumper and the umpire can't see it. Yeah.
Exactly. Or, knowing that you've kicked it out on the full and the umpire's called just a throw-in, are you going to go and say, oh, no, hang on, mate. There's a line. Obviously, the cricket thing was an extreme, but my point is saying there's small little things that can swing a game that aren't honest in every sport. So it's a question of how far do you go with it.
Yeah. Drugs. Answers?
In what aspect? Sport?
Well, sports. No, society. I mean, it really, ICE is a huge issue here. You see any answers?
ICE is a big one. I've got a lot of friends that live out in country towns, and they say it's absolutely rampant. Like, we report about it in the city because, obviously when something happens in Flinders Street or whatnot, it's a huge issue because, media's here, everybody's here, but you go out to some of these small country towns and it's a massive, massive issue. I would just be very, very harsh on people that are bringing that into our state and our country. So you catch them. I don't think there's a you shouldn't even be talking about bail. You shouldn't even be talking about suspended sentences. You get X, whether it's 15 years, 20 years. That's what you're getting.
Yeah.
Sorry, and then the dealers obviously are an element below that need to be addressed too.
We've talked a few times over the years about road rules and teaching people to drive and the rest, because you love cars and you love driving. What's our standard driving now, do you think? When you come back, what do you see?
It is better than Los Angeles, I can tell you that. I've never seen so many people with their phone in their hands literally texting on highways than I have in California. It was unbelievable. People swerving, looking like they're drunk, and then you get next to them and they're obviously texting. But I think our road rules are good. I think some of it's a little bit extreme.
Speed cameras?
Look, speed cameras are needed. There's no doubt about it. But you've got a highway like I drive on the East Link a lot. It's a world-class freeway, but it's 100 Ks. I mean,
Could be what 120?
110, 120. I mean, Europe. Like I think arguably, like Croatia, I go there on holiday a lot. Our roads are up par with Croatian roads. There's no doubt in my mind. I mean, it's the Balkans, and they 130 speed limit, and it doesn't increase, the fatality rate compared to Australia. So I think stuff like that. Now, I'm not condoning that we should make it a racetrack or anything like that, but I think some of our world class freeways, 100's a little low in my opinion.
Who do you admire? Any political leaders? I know you're a fan of Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson's someone I've got into probably the last year or two. Someone I just relate to the personal responsibility message, that just doesn't advocate victimhood, and just basically you can fix all your problems. Now, it's not saying that there are things in history that were done that don't help certain people's causes that need to be addressed. But at the same time, I think everyone, especially in Australia, everyone gives it a fair shake, is going to have a fair go, and you've got a chance to better yourself every day, especially with the internet and whatnot. If you want to look, this is the great era of learning a skill or not knowing how to do something or not knowing how to fix something in your house that broke. You just jump on the internet, you go on YouTube, and you can learn it in a 3-minute video. I think it's a great time to be alive from that aspect of things.
We've got a very good country, and several people made the point recently. I think, and Jordan Peterson was one of them actually. When we had him in the studio, he said, "Gee, you think you've got problems? Have a look. You haven't. This is a pretty good country." Do you think we appreciate it enough? Do we understand that?
Probably not. And that goes back to my article. Like, everyone thinks I'm smashing the place, and it's just a negative Nelly. It's not. I love the place, and we can still fix things, but there's no better place in the world to live, in my opinion. You got world class roads, facilities. We've got a beautiful bay here. You can go out to the Yarra Valley. You got beautiful wineries. You got everything on your doorstep here. And as much as we knock the weather and knock this and knock that, it's still the best place in the world to live.
Do you want to bring your kids up here?
100%. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's no other. I love growing up here, and I hate seeing some of the changes. But like you said, it's a minute problem compared to other nations. But that doesn't mean we should just sweep it under the rug, neither.
How's your wife going?
She's all right. Just trying to keep her stress free and as much as you can with a 17-month-year-old running around her legs. But yeah, she'll be okay. I hope. Good. I mean, everything's going well. She's just got to go in for checkups more often than a normal pregnancy would. But she's doing well.
Commonwealth Games, I assume you won't be going up to Gold Coast?
Not part of that campaign.
It's not all that great, is it?
Look, it's good for the guys involved. The younger kids in the Boomer squad get an opportunity to represent your country, and whenever you get a chance to do that, you want to take it with great honour. But yeah, usually the NBA guys, and I didn't know if I was going to be here or not, are usually not involved. And obviously by the time I was back here, then to just go and knock on the door and try to join a squad and knock someone out that's been there for 3 or 4 months of preparation wouldn't be very nice.
And finally, the Bombers this year.
Disappointing last game. That's been the tale of the Bomber fan for the last 4 or 5 years. We're very up and down. I like what we're doing, but we've got to somehow try to find a way to win in Perth.
Have you had any contact with James Hird, by the way? I know you used to know him a bit.
No, not really. Not really since it's all happened. Bomber I have. Bomber, we've got a few mutual friends, so I've caught up with him a couple of times for dinner 3 or 4 years ago, but that's about the extent of that. My involvement with Essendon's through Xavier Campbell and a few of the other guys I keep in touch with, but that's about it.
Great to see you. I hope we can talk occasionally and get your perspective on life as we proceed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Andrew Bogut.